And now we're just going in circles. Because now we're going back to Black Meadow, where we committed the greatest crime of this playthrough. Huh, and I'll finish dealing with the vague supplicant. Which is kind of a disappointing one. All the other quests are like, yo, this thing's happening in the story, and this thing's happening in the story, and then you get the supplicant thing, and it's like, help. That's all you get. Like as an element, that's for later. The Black Meadow. There's a forest lurker. All right. Seeing as I have no idea where that person is, bleh. Maybe we'll find them as we sprint around like lunatics around the map. A troll. That's something. Oh, yep, there's the dweller. Okay, found him. Scary. Thankfully, they're probably all weak to fire because they're tree people, so they're kind of fucked, just like right off the outset. Do 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 do. Hey, mind control. Now you're even more screwed. Oh, this troll has turned on you, dweller. Now we turn on it. Kill it to death. Quack, 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 quack. There we go.
No good.
More excessive dragoning. Rawr. Well, if only I could summon an Adra dragon. There we go. Off to a strong start. And right back to Cadnua. We're kind of looping at this point. Still working on drinking at every bar. It's one of our many parallel processes. But yeah, generally we're going to try to head east and see what we can find as we head that way.
This place, as beautiful as it can be with the absence of children.
I should really level up her again soon. Yeah, she's probably 12 by now. If even Sagani is 12 already, then she is definitely 12, because Sagani and Hiravis are like the least used characters. He's only 11.
Gods keep you.
War Chief Iklak is dead. That ought to make the Veilwood a little safer for time. Here's a reward. That's a lot of experience. 6,000 overall. Sly Sealdil is dead. Good work. They'll be celebrating in New Helmar soon enough. Here's the bounty. I took down the Dweller. To the relief of the merchants, I'm sure. Here's the coin they were offering. Boom. Oh, Hiravis leveled up again.
Hail and well met.
Yep. So I can't get to any more bounties till I complete all of the existing ones. So they come out in waves, just like the ones we saw in the expansion. Bonus spell tiers or other stuff. We already got your dual wielding mode. I do like superior deflection. Nice little 5% chance. And how do you do? Wow, it's just 6 points right there. I was really holding off on mechanics last time, apparently. Tier 6. Amplified wave. Manifests the target ally's mental strengths and projects them outward forcefully, causing a shockwave that inflicts crush damage and knocks anyone in the area prone. Whoa. That is a... I'm like, okay. 40 damage, 10 seconds of prone. That's okay, I guess. 6-meter radius. Oh. That's a very large radius of explosion. 12 meters across. I want to get to have 2 of these. Disintegration burns away the ethereal sinew that holds together the mind, body, and soul of a target enemy, causing it to rapidly take raw damage. Targets that have their endurance reduced to 0 disintegrate into non-existence. Damn. 330 raw damage over the course of 20 seconds. Not fast, but it's good for like a boss potentially, if they're low on fortitude, which bosses are always high on. Mind Plague. Destroys the enemy's memory with calculated accuracy, leaving them dazed and confused before rapidly jumping to up to 5 other enemies. Ooh. So it has a range of 10 meters, then a jump of 8 meters. They'll be dazed for 18 seconds, confused for 7 seconds. That'll happen to all of them. And confused, ooh, confused is crowd control. That makes them wander around and stuff. Yeah. Mind Plague and Amplified Wave. Yeah, dazed is one thing, but confused is crowd control, where they straight up will start just doing random actions every turn for a while, which is great. I get another power. So many options at this point. Disintegration could be a big scary thing to throw at a boss. Brutal Backlash. I've wanted this for a while. Stun an enemy whenever they try to hit me with a... Oh right, we already have Backlash. Yeah, there's one where they get stunned if they try to target me with anything that it goes after mental or something. This makes it do 20 damage. 20 damage is not a lot for a once per encounter thing that happens in a specific niche scenario. There's probably better things to focus on. Like weapon specialization. Yeah. That's what we should do. Just gonna double check the terminology of the weapon type. Lead Splitter is a blunderbuss. Ruffian? Yep. Saber, stiletto, club, pistol, blunderbuss. Give her the increased accuracy to land more of those hits when she does the giant shotgun blast, which leads to her generating more focus, and so on. Should be good news. And now, finally, everyone's leveled again. Except for all the people that are not currently in my party that have leveled up again off camera, which I'm sure they've done. And of course, Eloth, who just hasn't been in my party for a while. Or much of the playthrough, frankly. I think he was...
Not as beautiful as the Anguithan ruins near my home, but... Your fortress is impressive in its own little way.
In its own little way. Hierophis. And we're off to Defiance Bay. This will be a little time consuming because it's going to have some loading screens, but I've really just got to hop into each place and pop a drink real quick. Should be easy enough. I don't actually know how many bars there are to drink in, though. But there's at least... I believe there's at least 3 in Defiance Bay. And there's one... There should be one in Deerford Village. I believe. The Goose and the Fox. I don't think any of these other places count. And right after I finish drinking, I should check my quest log just to remind myself if there's anything left in Defiance Bay for me to do, but I don't think that there was. Unless I've forgotten. The fuck is happening here? Why are you all ghosts? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Booze. Hooray. I mean, they're all named dudes. There must be some quirky companion group of ghosts that all hang out. And it's like one of the many versions of that or something. I don't know. Look at that Stalgar. This Stalgar's pelt is thick with dust and moths. The plaque below the beast reads Maiden Falls. 26A2. That's the thing that almost ate you. Didn't go so hot. Oh, there's so many quests. Look how many tasks I have. That's the Dagger Kid. Fuck that guy. This is Galvino wanting me to blackmail that guy. This is the helm I haven't found all the pieces for. There's also the blade I haven't found all the pieces for. Whoops. I tried. Oh yeah, I guess I just wandered off from that expansion without finishing him off, huh? Oh, I know, yeah, because he gave me all these new ones. Yeah, no. So I have nothing else going on here. I decided to wait until I came back or something. Sagani. Grieving Mother. I really wish companion quests were in their own category separate from normal quests. Because I'm aware that these ones are in progress. I'm trying to keep track of other stuff. Battle of Yenwood Field, Cragholt. Maheneha. That's the Ice Dragon. And there's... Yeah, I have no side quests. It's all of my companion quests, then these two, the big fights, problems, and then of course the dragon. So three big fights that I can't deal with right now. Good reminder. On top of being able to... On top of better categorization for like companion quests and stuff like that, I would also like it if this game would let me hide categories. Like, I can. I kind of want the entire heading to go away too. Really what I kind of want is just get rid of all of the many completed ones, because at this point they take up so much of the screen space. I don't know if there's a way to deal with that. Off to Brackenbury. And then we'll be going to the Salty Mast in the next area. I take my booze quest very seriously. I do like that I've distributed these items throughout the party that each are going to give them, like, apparently 2 to 3 stat points across several different stats. Some good shit. Interesting that the captain's hat has a bunch of strange objectives, though, that instead of getting them through combat, one of them is reach 20 resolve, and then one of them is drink in every bar. It's almost like an obscure list of quest objectives. I meant to, not quest objectives. I meant to say it's like an obscure list of like video game achievements.
Sure. You work for the Dukes of the Valian Republics, huh?
For as long as they will allow.
Must be nice always knowing who you're supposed to serve.
Well, there are 5 of them, but even so, knowing who is easier than knowing how.
Knowing who is easier than knowing how. Does Heritage Hill have a bar? Oop. Right. Gotta be writing these down. Alright, Gilded Vale, Brackenbury, Copper Lane, Heritage Hill. Written them down. Just kind of preemptively assuming that I'm gonna succeed here. Heritage Hill restored. The city guard reports the howling cataclysm atop the tower has ceased. I would not expect Heritage Hill to count, if it even has one, which I don't remember it having a bar. That was supposed to be a residential area, but you know, every other place in this town has a bar, or things that might count as a bar, so it's hard to say. But I don't really feel like sitting through a loading screen right now. I'm going to operate based on the assumption of the fact that I don't remember there being a bar there, so I'm just going to move on. There we go. That didn't take so long. Had to sit through a few loading screens. I think they go a little faster though when you're in Defiance Bay because the zones are small. 4 notifications, I should really check in on this. 3 new turns where nothing happened. Great. Lavender and Lye. 35% experience. Major item, 2 average items. On a remote island in the Deadfire Archipelago, the famed apothecary Tama Watua creates potions and unguents that are renowned from Nazatak to the southern edges of the Eastern Reach. He boasts that the secret to his success is his location within the archipelago, from which he has access not only to a huge array of native creatures and plants, but also to merchants traveling from all the settled parts of the world. Lately, Tama's home and laboratory have come under attack by pirates, forcing them to flee from island to island almost every day. The apothecary's clients and Tama's many children have pled with the pirates to stop their pursuit, receiving no sympathy from the pirates and no help from the mainland rulers of Abet. They have turned to mercenaries in the Eastern Reach for help. So it's an apothecary being chased by pirates. You were a pirate, if I remember correctly. I was tempted to send Kana because he's a Maoan. But he's not a big his parents are specifically those kinds of things. His mom was a pirate and so on, but he's not quite as interested. But if I remember correctly, I think Maneha actually was a literal pirate. So she's probably got some expertise. We should probably head down there. Let's reinvestigate Searing Falls. There's a lot of empty space here, and there's a path. And wherever there's a path drawn, you can often go there. Like here. Like, all these paths were here at the beginning, and then they got really filled in with locations over time. And I'm looking for a cliff. So we'll see. We'll go here next, and see what I can find in this direction. But first I want to go to Searing Falls and see if I can find anything here, because the path does continue, and I think I just didn't go... I don't remember going west to find out what else might have been there. I was there to find what the Magran priestess had thought would be there, and ended up fighting a dragon, which was neat. But I don't think I tried this doorway. Look how tiny this zone is. It's a very quick trip. Am I building something right now? Yep. And we're getting closer to done every day. Pearlwood Bluff. Yeah. That might be the cliff that I was looking for with Sagani in the vision. A big cliff overlooking Defiance Bay. I think that was what my first guess was it'd be something along those lines. Just didn't know where it was on the map. I think I might have tried Onslaugh's compass.
Do these look like the cliffs from your vision?
Ooh. She went straight, she even said it. We're in a good spot then. Alright. Let's enjoy our poking around then. Haven't poked around an open plain that's a new zone for a while. At least, I guess not a grassy one at least. In the bay below, waves roll towards Defiance Bay. I've obviously spent plenty of time clearing those new zones in the White Marches. Oh, we seem to have brought upon the attention of a second group. Shit. I think we're gonna be fine though. There we go. Oh, phone call. Oh, I'm mad. That call. All right, well. That was a thing that happened. I don't know if I'll talk about that, but if I do, it'll probably be during a multiplayer thing. We're gonna rant at other humans about it, instead of interrupting the middle of this unrelated playthrough where I'm normally on topic. I don't know. People are bad at communicating things. This is not YouTuber drama, by the way. I realize that this can be interpreted as like, oh no, these people I know are fighting. No, this is like full-on, off-camera, unrelated shit for completely unrelated people. Where I'm like, I swear to God. Hello. I thought the top cliff would be where the thing was, but that looks suspiciously like it might be the objective. I'm gonna clear stuff out. Oh, lightning blights. Goody. With ice immunity. The ice immunity did not save them. They ironically did not survive the winter. Oh. Well, that corpse might be related. That's curious. Why would there be a spirit hanging out around here? It might be an unrelated falling or a suicide. That isn't related to the reason we're here. Money. In the bay below, waves roll towards defiance. That's Drake. Shit. And click. It's always weird with flying targets. He's all the way up there, but you gotta click the little circle. Certainly easier to click than trying to click on a moving object in the sky. It's just that there's a little bit of a deduction moment where you have to like solve where the connecting circle is for the correct icon. It's more chaotic and confusing when there's a swarm of enemies in the middle of a fight. But right now, these are of sufficiently low level compared to us that I can kind of just cruise through. So yeah, pretty quick, clear progress here. So we have two things: we have a stone and we have a spirit. Oh shit, that makes sense. It could be that Sagani's guardian spirit person, I don't know what do we call it, their elder spirit that passed on to a new life. It may have moved on to somebody who died here, or in some other way got their spirit trapped, because we know that those are two things that I haven't really thought about in a way that would where they'd reconcile with each other until just now, really. But yeah, she has this entire culture where you hunt down the reincarnations of spirits to find out where the spirit moved on to and follow them to their destination and talk to them and so on, and you tell them the culture of your people and what importance they are, and maybe they come back to that culture, or maybe they just gain this understanding, or who knows what. But it's, you know, it's a touching cultural tradition that they have, and it's cool and all that. But we've encountered many examples in this game of how a soul can just be trapped in various cases. It can be trapped in Aedra, it can be trapped in the form of a blight or a monster, it can be just a floating regret ghost that's sitting around waiting for me to resolve its problems. It can be inside of a horrible device like the one that was in Heritage Hill, I can never remember which one it is now. There's so many, like, there's so many soul abominations we've encountered that could really muck this whole thing up. In this case, I don't know if it's going to be the stone or the floating ghost over here, probably the ghost, but there's a decent chance that the spirit became trapped in a non-visible form where it just hangs along this coast forever, which would make it very hard for Sagani to ever accomplish her goal and go back to her kids. What's up with this rock? A lively breeze ruffles your clothes as you approach the edge of the bluff. A cave mouth yawns from the cliff face. It's only a dozen feet below your position, but the weathered rock is too smooth to scale. A rock perches near the precipice. It feels like a sturdy anchor. Ah. Oh, maybe the cave... Oh yeah, I can see a little bit of it there. Maybe that's where the objective actually is. Let's see, find out who this is. As you reach the edge of the bluff, you recognize the exact location from the vision of Persak. He was here not long ago. Sagani stands alert, the Aedra statuette in one hand while she scans the cliff. You close your eyes, feeling the ether for some trace of Persak's presence. The darkness behind your eyelids takes shape. You feel Persak running through the forest this time, hurtling and dashing around rocks and trees. The scenery whizzes by too fast. You can't make out the details between blurred greenery. Something looms out of the trees ahead of you. Persak finally stops in front of an Aedra arch. The scenery whizzes by too fast. Is he even human? Because he could just not be human. Survival. Examine your surroundings. The soil is soft and moist, and red river reed grows around you. You must be close to a body of fresh water. Inspect the arch. You remember hearing about this place. Supposedly, there's a row of Aedra pillars nearby. Do you recognize a natural arch made of Aedra? They got something like that out in Glanfath, across the water from Twin Elms. Oh, well, it looks like we have another reason to go towards the elms. I know where to look for next for Persak.
Then I'll follow. In these visions, I don't suppose you're getting a sense for who Persak is now.
You can just lie. Why? Someone who appreciates the scenery. Sagani chuckles. Nothing against these stuffy forests, but you haven't seen the southern lights over Nasitak.
At least we're getting closer. Seems like we made more progress together than I've made in a year.
What was he like?
That depends on who you ask. I talked to everyone in Masuk before I left. I heard he was a strong leader, a dependable builder, a caring grandfather, a wise elder, a generous neighbor, a cunning negotiator.
Might as well be one of those impossibly perfect heroes from the Adir epics. People remember the things about him that matter most to them.
The odd thing is, many in Masuk weren't much older than me when Persak passed. And yet everyone wanted to make sure he heard about something in particular. Our trade with the Amawa, our successful hunts, peace with neighboring villages.
She kicks over another pebble over the edge. Ichimak follows its arc, his ears forward. Persak accomplished a lot that affected all of Masuk.
It just seems odd that so few of us remember him beyond the things he did for the village. Most of his family members, the ones who knew him, are in their twilight years now. And Persak was too busy to spend much time with his younger relatives.
Ichimak yawns and impatiently nuzzles her hand. Perhaps this is less about him and more about helping your village move on.
Perhaps you're right. Anyway, what about this Theos character you're searching for? Seems like he was someone important to you. What do you remember about him?
He had an impressive beard. He was someone I trusted.
Not a lot to go on, huh? Hopefully you can pick up a few more clues about him while we're running around.
Enough chatter from me, or Persak will find himself a new body before we can even get to this one. We don't have anything else to talk about. Well, he's way off somewhere else, apparently. Yeah, somewhere near Twin Elms. So, this appears to be a dead end. It's a cool looking place, though, and of course I'm going to check out that cave. Tie your rope to the rock, securing it with a grappling hook, and climb down. You fasten your rope to the rock and descend. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind whips along from the bay. You struggle to hold onto the rope as the breeze tosses you around. The wind picks up and knocks Sagani into the wall. Sagani loses hold of the rope and begins to plummet. Without hesitation, Grieving Mother reaches out and grabs Sagani. The weight wrenches Grieving Mother's shoulder, but saves Sagani from certain death. That would have been some hell of a timing after having just made progress on her mission. And she's dead. Moments later, the gale subsides when you make your way to the mouth of the cave. Well, we'll see what this is then. We're completely off the charts, or off the maps. I guess maps and charts are related. This is completely unrelated to anything I was doing. But it's here, so of course I'm looking at it. Persak, is that you? The Ring of Selonen. Only usable by wizard. +2 first level and +2 third level spell uses. Why first and third? Huh. 2 centuries after Telda forged a ring extending her spellcasting powers, a wizard of the Valian Republics sought to improve upon her design. Almert of Selona was never known for particularly original scholarship or spellcraft, and many of his peers accused of him outright plagiarism. It's widely held that this is the reason he never received much credit for this ring, the one truly remarkable achievement of his career. That is a cool item. And I'll give it to Adair, who holds onto my weird items for other characters, because these are the 2 permanent members of the party. So he holds onto... I put them over here for class-specific weird items. And you hold on to my books. Speaking of which, this guy has more of my books. I need to get back onto this again. Saint Wad when farmer become god. Yeah, there's a story of him being accosted. Also, Deer and Dialects? Nope, I think that's an explanation of how to pronounce everything in this game. Yeah, good luck. But there it is. A simple... some kind of mark as read feature would be very nice. There's 2 differently flawed systems here. One is the book system and one is the codex system for monsters, where if you do want to read through everything, just having a nice little, like, mark as read manual toggle for stuff would just be really nice. Just so I can, like, and in the case of book duplicates, it would show up for every single copy of that book. Some kind of indication you've read it before. And then same thing for the codex. And for codexes, it has to be manual, because if just scrolling through the codex marks it as read, then it's like, then you're fucked the moment you actually do search the codex for something, for information, and you end up, like, marking 12 things as read. That's a thing that... I don't remember which ones are which, but this is an ongoing conversation I've had in previous episodes during, like, Mass Effect and Dragon Age. Is that those games have codexes and all these stories and poems and things, and I'm like, I want to look at those. Especially the Dragon Age stuff. Like, there's some extended stories that are usually pretty fun to read, because they're usually written by the writers that wrote the rest of the game, so it's more of that. I think this is based on the Cliffs of Dover, by the way. Which are like, I think the Cliffs of Dover are made of talc, which is pure white and powdery and soft, and is the component in talcum powder. It's it's not the most extreme name, talcum powder. It's basically just the name of the mineral that's made of, which is basically chalk. I don't have a reason to go to these places right now, so let's go to Deerford Village. If for no reason, then because I need to drink there. As we're checking off things on the list. And then we'll see if Twin Elms has any bars or not. Hey, they finished the wall. Time to build the last object in the entire game, unless something adds a new one eventually. Through Death's Gate, travel to Deerford Village. Oh, yeah. I guess that technically is progress. I've been here before, though. This is the wrong item. Every bar in Eastern Reach. What is the Eastern Reach? Defiance Bay. World map. This just calls itself the world map, not the Eastern Reach. I don't know. I don't know how much of the game counts as the Eastern Reach. Is the White March part of the Eastern Reach? Do I need to drink in Stalwart? I don't know. It's hard to be sure. It is a DLC item, which means they added it. It's a Deadfire DLC item. These pirate items are all setting up elements of the upcoming sequel, which, well, it's out now, but it was, I think it was upcoming at the time. So they could require the expansion. That would suck though, because the expansion content I think is like $30 to buy it all. And I think the Deadfire DLC is free, so it would suck if you put on an item from the Deadfire DLC and then you went through the whole game leveling it up and then only found out too late that you can't even use it until you have an expansion you don't own yet.
Yeah.
Although, you know, you'd expect them to just get the expansion. If they're dedicated this much, like it's a little weird to be like, I'm only gonna play vanilla game after the expansion's already out. Okay. I mean, I drank another item. I guess we'll just have to see. We'll just have to keep going forward, and we'll see if there's more bars, or if I missed one. Or if there's one that I can't even access till later in the story or something. I don't know if that means something or not. There's a trail of something.
Yeah.
Maybe there is another zone on the map I haven't found yet in that direction. Only one way to find out. Going back to Deerford Crossing. Slow mode can be used to direct characters in combat without pausing. Yeah. Still, I think even in slow mode this game is too chaotic. Up this path? I think I may have been under-respecting how much certain parts of the map open up new chunks of stuff. No. No. If there is something there, I don't have access to it right now. Stormwall Gorge it is, then. Time to head down into Twin Elms for the first time. It's some place that's significant enough that it has its own goddamn, like, label. Like Defiance Bay. Oh. Wait, is it a city? Wait. Oh, right, I've never gone further down yet. Oh, does the giant label mean that Twin Elms is a city? Are these... Oh, there's a gate. Yeah, there's a wall around it. I didn't really consider this that much before, but those 4 things are probably 4 parts of a city, like these, like all these chunks of map are. Oh shit. I might be there for a long time. Unfortunately, I don't remember what we were doing last time. Here in Stormwall Gorge. It seems the rain has gone and filled this place up. Wait, there was something going on here. I think I failed to open this, whatever this was. The starlight illuminates the pattern on the ground. You kneel to get a better look. The stone here has been carved in a few simple shapes. A small circular indentation marks the center, and a much larger circle surrounds it. You see what appears to be writing above the 2 circles. Look at the circular indentation. Indentation. That's hexagonal, you fool. The indentation is shallow and smooth. It looks like it was intended to hold something specific. The outer circle. Several shapes have been carved around the outer ring. Though most have been worn away, you can make out a crescent above the center. The writing. The curving, twisting runes are strangely familiar to you. You recognize them as an ancient Engwithan. They read, "All things end, only to continue anew. Enter now at dusk, that we may all experience a new dawn." So dusk is when I want to go in. But I can't, can I? You can see a staircase, but it's all underwater. Because it's been a while since I've been here, I may have forgotten that this was a dead end. This might have all been a dead end that I can't actually go down. Twin Elms might not actually be accessible. Maybe it's for a later chunk of the game, which would make the current bounty I have inaccessible. Right? Isn't it supposed to be in Twin Elms? Elm Shore. That's probably at Twin Elms. I don't think it's on my map. Not exactly. Well, let's see what we can do then. Tasks are not important to me. Eder wants me to go to Cleabon Relag. I don't know where that is, and I just checked as much of the map as I can, as far as I can tell. Durance is vague. Long Hunt, I have to go to another, another element of Twin Elms. I could talk to Grieving Mother again, I think. Pelagina also needs to go to Twin Elms. So I guess that's one way to justify a lot of these people being in my party, is that they all require... They're all stuck with me until some later part of the game when I gain access to Twin Elms, apparently. Because I don't think I can go there. Monet has searching for the Abbey... The Abbey of the Fallen Moon. Which I don't think I even know... I don't even know where that is. I have no idea. And you also want to go to Twin Elms. Alright. Well. Despite the very bloated quest log being full of 100 different things, we may be significantly more done with all of the existing content than I thought. Let's talk to the Grieving Mother, though, since she might have new dialogue.
Your mind comes bearing questions, Watcher.
Can you tell me about the birthing bell?
The birthing bell. It is where I could draw new souls into the world. I recall some of the memory of it through what you have seen, but not all.
But what did you do when the Hollowborn came?
The curse.
There's a slight chill between the two of you, a current of emotion. The next thoughts come slowly, almost frightened, into your mind, like terrified children, blanketed with a mother's fear.
You speak of the curse that fell upon the children. This curse that has fallen on this country.
She lowers her head. Something seems to surround you. A mist, heavy and thick. As the grieving mother looks inward, it closes in, threatening to choke you. Finally, she raises her gaze, and the mist retreats. I know only that it is a scourge upon every hearth in the Deerwood, and one that threatens to tear this country asunder. Where is the birthing bell located? Twin Elms. The birthing bell lies deep in the great forests of the Deerwood, at the borders of the Glenfathan lands, surrounding it. Barely a town, not one you would find on any map, but it held an important place for those there, even if we were far from the beaten track. Small families, tied like a knot, joined at the wrists in mind, in thought. All were welcomed. All had purpose. I want to know more about you.
And I you. In asking, we reveal ourselves to each other.
Why are you called the Grieving Mother? The air seems to go still for a moment, and time stretches as it did before, when the two of you first met. There is a wash of uncertainty from her mind, slowly shaping into questions that swirl and do not coalesce. She does not move. She seems paralyzed, as if you have just wrapped her in a cold blanket.
That is a question for you, not I. That is not my name, although if you wish to hang the title on me, I cannot stop you. Is that what you see when your eyes fall upon me?
So, I named you? As a watcher, you may see what I do not, or your mind shapes the thoughts I project into a new meaning. There is truth in that title, but it is not all I am. I was curious about that. I was like, I said, why are you called the Grieving Mother? But I don't think anyone has ever called her that. It's just sort of this floating title in the video game. So what do you grieve then? You must have felt it, seen it. It has as many names as the pain it has caused. As the words take shape, they seem to tumble from her, and the wave is great, rushed. I don't know why I stuck with that cadence. As the words take shape, they seem to tumble from her, and the wave is great, rushing into your mind. To your surprise, you feel as if you've been touched by the Biowak again. Isn't that supposed to be incredibly painful? That's bad. And behind it, cutting through the torrent like a knife, are the thoughts of the Grieving Mother. There is a wound cut across the belly of the world, a jagged knife that has stripped the stems from men and carved furrows across the wombs of women. There is much I have forgotten, but I can feel the wound all around me. It will not let me rest, not let me be. The children have gone silent, yet their voices may be heard again. Are you speaking of the Hollowborn? The word. There is a slowness of thoughts, as if the word is being weighed, accepted. It doesn't feel natural to her. You can sense it. Was once unknown to me, as was much of what unfolded in the outside world. When the curse came upon us, I thought it a smaller thing, a thing of communities and hearths. Her thoughts seemed to stumble as if on weak legs. It was only when I walked did I feel it stretching out around me, in all the cracks of the world. Children have been cursed. I do not think it was something they caused, nor something deserved. That which is inside them has been torn away. I do not know how, but this wound must be stitched closed. The world bleeds forth from between a woman's legs. If this blood is not stemmed, the world will die and grow quiet. Do you know its cause? There's a desperation, a welling fear. You could almost feel her thoughts shivering, and you realize she is as lost as you are on the matter, and then a sudden, sharp clarity. I shall know it. Through you. Your eyes will track the cause, find the path, and I will be beside you. There is no wound that cannot be healed, and if you truly are a watcher, then this wound may be seen for what it is. You saw me where I hid. Whoever's hands have stilled the world, you shall see them too. What if sealing the wound causes more damage? I will be there, and you will do what must be done. You were given your sight so that you may watch the world, and you will tend it. The children shall have their voice again. If your will is weak, then I shall strengthen it. Lean upon me. You feel a weight in her words, as if her hands are on your shoulders. You'll feel the questions in your mind lose their edge and become merely words. As I lean upon you, you shall be my eyes, as I shall be your hands when the time comes. Man, I've sat on some of this dialogue for way too long with some of these characters. I think it's one of the things that actually BioWare kind of streamlined in a way that I think is not unwelcome for many people, is just the fact that in Dragon Age Origins, you have a camp. I don't remember Dragon Age 2 very well. In Dragon Age Inquisition, you have a keep of some kind throughout the game. In Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and Andromeda, I guess, you have the Normandy and whatever the other stupid ship was called in the stupid game that was bad. So you always have a ship. Was it the Tempest? I don't know. It's like there's a lot of... BioWare games like to have a base. In KOTOR, you had the Ebon Hawk with, like, Cadius and HK-47 and stuff like that. And so as a result, you have a core location where everyone is recognizably in one spot together, so you can go click on them all, basically, and it gives you a nice little chance to be able to keep up. I think Tyranny actually had that. Tyranny, the next game by this company, but not Deadfire. I don't know what Deadfire's like. You had a big tower, and I think everyone was there when they weren't in your party. There was multiple towers though, and I don't remember if they would automatically be in the same tower as you, or if you had to go back to the starter tower to find them, or what. But as a result, you could encounter everyone in the world without them being in your party. This game, I think, has some version of that, but it's less obvious. One, your party is definitely at Cad Nua, and you don't have a lot of reason to go to Cad Nua for a lot of the game. They kind of try to make it a catch-all base by having it have like vendors and other stuff going on and an inn, but it just doesn't really actually serve much purpose to go back to Cad Nua unless you're specifically going to Odd Nua, or you have a quest calling you to Cad Nua specifically, basically. So especially since you can get your party members switched out at inns, so Cad Nua doesn't really serve a ton of purpose. It's just kind of an attempted hub that just didn't... It lacked the default hubness of it all. Because one thing about the Normandy and the Ebon Hawk and so on is that you used that thing to go to the next place. And the vague, floating, magical camp location that was always the same location somehow, even though you were traveling all over the map in Dragon Age Origins, was essentially the Normandy. And that it was a recognizable spot where you could quickly get to all of your party members very quickly and see where they all were and stuff. There might be something equivalent to that in this game, because I've seen Aloth in Cad Nua, so I imagine they're all there somewhere, all the characters that aren't currently in my party. But one, like half of them might be on missions at any given moment and be away, which is one obstacle. But at the same time, like, it's just from this perspective, top down with a fog of war and stuff like that, it's just kind of hard to tell where they are. So I'd have to spend more time than it's worth looking for them, potentially. Maybe they're all in their rooms upstairs. I don't know. The thing is that when you do your first exploration of that place, you don't have enough characters for there to be overflow, so you don't know where they are. And it's not really that appealing to have to re-explore the entire keep just to try to find where they're hiding all your party members. And also and most importantly, the amount of travel time and loading screens that are involved in going to go to Cadnua, then go to the keep, I mean Bright Hollow Hearth or whatever it's called, then go to the second floor of it, then walk around in this perspective with Fog of War and moving a guy around to try to track them all down. It's just less smooth than like, oh, time to go to this next location, and in between those locations we have a camp, or we have a thing. Like, having some kind of thing on the map I can click on that is just going to be maybe a single screen location that features every single companion in one location where I can see them all simultaneously and click on them, just kind of works better. Which I think is why they had the tower in Tyranny, but I can't remember how the tower worked that well, so I could be talking out my ass about that. But I think they specifically moved towards that when they realized that, because, yeah, one of the ways that I've been programmed to keep up with dialogue with all my companions is that I have this particular loop that just doesn't really graft very well onto this game, which is that when I play any of those BioWare games, you finish a major location, like you go to a major location for your big quest, and then while you're at that place for the big quest, you do a bunch of side quests along the way and explore and, you know, do all the extra color stuff, and then eventually finish the big quest. And you've probably taken about like a third to a half of your overall characters with you, so they're all interacting along the way and maybe getting some unique dialogue and stuff. And then when you finish your big unique quest, before you go to your next big location for the next big quest and series of side quests and so on, you then end up in your little hub where you can catch up with all your people. So maybe you didn't take Rex and Tally with you this time around, but you'll still like do your little, you settle into your loop of talking to everybody, and you'll still be able to proceed to the next like chapter of everyone's stories that they like cut you off on last time because they want to pace it out over the course of the campaign. This game's a little bit of a nightmare because it has 12 characters in a 6-person party, so it's just I guess it technically has 11 characters because I'm one of them and I'm not a companion. Not mechanically, I mean I'm their companion. So the end result is a little more weird, so I find it way easier to completely lose track of progressing somebody's dialogue for like dozens of hours at a time, and that's just been the outcome of it. I'm not saying that it's impossible to progress their dialogue or that you can't just invent new habits that fix these problems. I'm just saying that when I follow the habits I have from what are arguably the more popular RPGs in the world right now, or over the last 20 years or whatever, those habits lead to me missing the dialogue in this game for a while. And judging from Tyranny, they might have specifically changed things because of that idea. I wonder. I'll be curious to see what Deadfire is like. You shall be my eyes, and I shall be your hands when the time comes. What do you think of Deerwood and the Empire? Those titles are markings on a map and channels people's minds in violent directions. Such things are a threadbare blanket cast over the world, where men and women seek more importance than simply being. How do you see the world, then? The world is a field of souls, tilled by Barath's wheel. The thought of cultures and territories do not concern me, and sowing the harvest of the field does. The Barath's wheel has slowed, perhaps stopped altogether. Whatever words, titles, laws, and blades not devoted by carrying away, and blades not devoted to carving away the harm or healing the wound, holds little importance to me. Also, I wield a big-ass blunderbuss during combat, because I'm a combat character. She's one of the weirder characters to reconcile as being a combatant. Just because everyone else is kind of inherently already game for that kind of thing. But her character doesn't necessarily lean towards that idea. It's just, you just then de facto, like, here she is in the party doing fighting. I guess she's cool with it. I welcome your questions. It is a strange sensation after so long. I don't think that necessarily changed much. Yeah. The most recent update is still I pressed her and she became evasive. I pressed her and she became evasive. I know there's more to the story, but I may have to spend more time with her in order to break through the lies she's woven around us both. We'll have to see. We'll have to meet up with her again sometime in the future. Maybe next act? It might be story-gated or location-gated. With her and Durance, it's hard to say exactly what the requirement is. Although I think I can still make more progress with Durance by meeting up with her more.
Do you still have family living in the Deerwood, Adair?
No, not these days. Parents left the country years back during the purges. I think about him a lot.
It's a shame you and your family suffered, even after the Saints' War ended. You Deerwoodens certainly have a knack for holding on to old grudges.
At this point, it's a good thing they left, probably, considering the lives. Well, she did say Deerwood though, which is all of this place, more or less. More specifically, it's good they left the Gilded Vale. But Deerwood is a whole other category, I suppose.